Oh no. Hi everyone. Step 1. Listen slowly with subtitles. Shh, Jack. We need to be quiet here.
Okay, I will be quiet.
That's not quiet, Jack. Whisper.
Oh, sorry. Is this better?
Yes, perfect. Now, what book do you need?
I need a history book.
History? For our homework?
Yes, we have to write about old kings and queens.
Okay, let's check this shelf. Look, history books are here.
Wow, there are so many. Which one should I take?
This one looks easy. It has pictures.
Perfect. I love books with pictures.
Jack, you should read more words too, not only pictures.
I know, but pictures are more fun.
Okay, let's start reading.
Wait, can I also take a comic book?
Jack, this is not for fun. It's for homework.
But comics make me happy. Homework makes me sad.
Fine. First homework, then comic. Deal?
Deal. You are the boss, Emma. King Henry was very strong and had six
6 wives, Jack.
6 wives? That's crazy. How did he remember all their names?
I don't know. Just keep reading.
Okay, but I think one wife is enough.
I agree. Now write that down for your homework.
Done. 1 sentence finished. Only 4 more to go.
See? Not so hard.
Thanks, Emma. You always help me.
You're welcome. Next time, maybe you help me.
Sure, I can help you with video games.
Jack?
Step 2. Listen slowly again, without subtitles.
Shh, Jack. We need to be quiet here.
Okay, I will be quiet.
That's not quiet, Jack. Whisper.
Oh, sorry. Is this better?
Yes, perfect. Now, what book do you need?
I need a history book.
History? For our homework?
Yes, we have to write about old kings and queens.
Okay, let's check this shelf. Look, history books are here.
Wow, there are so many. Which one should I take?
This one looks easy. It has pictures.
Perfect. I love books with pictures.
Jack, you should read more words too, not only pictures.
I know, but pictures are more fun.
Okay, let's start reading.
Wait, can I also take a comic book?
Jack, this is not for fun. It's for homework.
But comics make me happy. Homework makes me sad.
Fine. First homework, then comic. Deal?
Deal. You are the boss, Emma. King Henry was very strong and had six
6 wives, Jack.
6 wives? That's crazy. How did he remember all their names?
I don't know. Just keep reading.
Okay, but I think 1 wife is enough.
I agree. Now write that down for your homework.
Done. 1 sentence finished. Only 4 more to go.
See? Not so hard.
Thanks, Emma. You always help me.
You're welcome. Next time, maybe you help me.
Sure, I can help you with video games.
Jack? Step 3. Listen fast and natural without subtitles. Shh, Jack. We need to be quiet here.
Okay, I will be quiet.
That's not quiet, Jack. Whisper.
Oh, sorry. Is this better?
Yes, perfect. Now, what book do you need?
I need a history book.
History. For our homework?
Yes, we have to write about old kings and queens.
Okay, let's check this shelf. Look, history books are here.
Wow, there are so many. Which one should I take?
This one looks easy. It has pictures.
Perfect. I love books with pictures.
Jack, you should read more words too, not only pictures.
I know, but pictures are more fun.
Okay, let's start reading.
Wait, can I also take a comic book?
Jack, this is not for fun, it's for homework.
But comics make me happy. Homework makes me sad.
Okay, fine. First homework, then comic. Deal?
Deal. You're the boss, Emma. King Henry was very strong and had 6
6 wives, Jack.
6 wives. That's crazy. How did you remember all their names?
I don't know. Just keep reading.
Okay. But I think 1 wife is enough.
I agree. Now write that down for your homework.
Done. 1 sentence finished. Only 4 more to go.
See? Not so hard.
Thanks, Emma. You always help me.
You're welcome. Next time, maybe you help me.
Sure. I can help you with video games.
Jack. Where do Emma and Jack go in the story? What does Emma tell Jack to do when they enter the library? Does Jack whisper quietly the first time? What kind of book does Jack need? Why does Jack need the history book? Who helps Jack choose a book from the shelf? What kind of books does Jack say he likes more? What funny fact does Jack learn about King Henry? What does Jack want to read after homework? How does Emma feel about helping Jack? And that's all for today's lesson, my friends. You practiced the same conversation in 3 different ways, answered some questions, and learned useful phrases for daily life. Write your answers in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next lesson.
Emma, look, it's here. The concert ticket.
Oh, wow, that's awesome, Jack. I'm so excited. When is the concert again?
It's in Friday. We have to go. I'm going to get my best clothes ready on the evening.
In Friday? And you're getting ready on the evening? My friend, I'm glad you have your ticket, but we have a small grammar problem here.
A problem? What do you mean? It's not a fake ticket, is it?
No, no, the ticket is real. It's just how you said the date. It's a very common mistake for English learners. But don't worry, it's an easy one to fix. We use different words for different times.
Really? I thought in, on, and at were all just time words, like you can use any of them.
Not exactly. They are a bit like different sizes of shoes. You wouldn't wear a small shoe on a big foot, right? We need to learn which word fits which kind of time.
Ugh, English is so confusing. Just tell me, Emma, when do I use which?
Relax, Jack. Today we're going to explain it step by step and make sure you never say in Friday again.
So, what are prepositions of time exactly?
They're little words like in, on, and at that tell us when something happens. Not where, just when.
Okay, but why three different words for the same thing? Isn't one enough?
I wish, but English is picky. Each one is used for a different kind of time, kind of like using the right tool for the right job.
Like, what do you mean?
Think of it like this. At is used for exact times, like 7 o'clock. On is for specific days or dates, like Monday or Christmas. And in is for longer periods, like months, years, or mornings.
Oh, so at night, on Monday, in July.
Boom, you're getting it already. That's the basic idea.
Wait, but why at night and not in night? That sounds better to me.
Great question. Some exceptions are just how English evolved. We say at night, but in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening.
English is weird, like really weird.
That's fair. But I'll help you crack the code, even if it's weird.
Let's go. What's first?
At. It's small but powerful. Let's tackle that one first.
Okay, so we're starting with at. What kind of time do we use for at?
At is used for specific points in time. Think of it as a dot on the clock.
Like what?
For example, at 7 o'clock, at noon, at midnight, at 5:30 p.m.
Oh, okay. So whenever there's a number and time, I use at?
Exactly. But it's not just for clock time. We also use at for a few specific periods, like at night, at lunchtime, at the weekend, though at the weekend is more common in British English.
Got it. Wait, why at night but in the morning?
Ah, That's one of those exceptions English loves so much. We say at night because it's considered a fixed period, not part of the day structure, like morning, afternoon, and evening.
Weird, but okay. So I can say I go to bed at night, right?
Yep. And I wake up at 6 a.m.
I usually wake up at, let's say at the last possible moment?
That's a very Jack sentence.
Thanks. So at noon is correct?
Yes, and here are more examples. The train arrives at 3 p.m. The store opens at 9 in the morning. The meeting is at noon. Let's meet at midnight if you're a vampire. I usually eat lunch at 12:30. We go jogging at sunrise in the summer. The fireworks start at exactly 10 p.m.
Cool. What about at the weekend? That one sounds fancy.
It is common in British English. Americans usually say on the weekend, but both are correct depending on where you are.
Oh, so I could say I went hiking at the weekend in London, but on the weekend in New York?
Exactly.
What about at Christmas?
Ah, tricky one. We usually say at Christmas to mean the general holiday time. Like, I see my family at Christmas. But we say on Christmas Day for the specific date.
So, I eat too much at Christmas, especially on Christmas Day.
Perfect. You're getting it.
Okay, test time. Can I say my birthday party is at Saturday?
Nope.
Dang it. Why?
Saturday is a day. We'll cover that in the on section. You'd say at 5 p.m. on Saturday.
Oh, so at 5 p.m. because it's a specific time?
Bingo.
Can I say at the morning?
Nope. We say in the morning. But we do say at dawn and at sunrise because those are specific moments.
English loves to mess with us, huh?
It keeps things exciting.
I'm feeling powerful, like a grammar ninja.
All right, Ninja. One last test. Tell me a sentence with at and a time.
Okay, I eat pancakes at 9 a.m., take a nap at noon, go for a walk at sunset, and play video games at night.
That's a quadruple win.
So, to wrap up, I use at for exact times like at 3 p.m., short periods like at night, and special phrases like at Christmas, at sunrise, and at the weekend.
Nailed it. Now get ready. The next one's on, and it has a lot of surprises.
Okay, now let's talk about on. What kind of time do we use it for?
On is used for specific days and dates. Think calendars.
So like on Monday and on Christmas Day?
Exactly. Days of the week, like on Tuesday, on Saturday, and specific dates, like on September 1st, on my birthday, on New Year's Eve.
Wait, so on the weekend also works?
Yup, in American English. Remember, Brits usually say at the weekend. Americans prefer on the weekend.
Gotcha. So I'd say I play soccer on Sunday.
Perfect.
And we're having dinner on October 10th.
Exactly right.
Okay, what about holidays? Is it on Halloween or at Halloween?
Great question. We say on if we mean the day itself, on Halloween. But if you're talking about the general time of year, you can say at Halloween, just like at Christmas versus on Christmas Day.
This feels like a grammar dance. Step here, twist there.
That's one way to put it. Let's look at more examples. I was born on Monday. The party is on June 5th. We met on New Year's Eve. They're traveling on the weekend. She got married on Valentine's Day. We always have pancakes on Sunday mornings. There's a test on the first day of school.
Okay, let me try. I watched a movie on Thursday and had pizza on my couch.
Almost. On Thursday is perfect, but for the pizza, that's a place, not a time.
Right. So I'd say I ate pizza on Thursday, not on my couch.
Right. Although, I'm sure the couch appreciated it.
Can I say on the morning of June 1st?
Yes, when you include both the day and part of the day, use on, like on the evening of my birthday, on the morning of the wedding, on the afternoon of Christmas Eve.
What if I say just on morning?
Nope. You'd need in the morning if it's general. Only use on if it's with a specific day.
This is starting to click. I just have to picture a calendar and say on if it's marked on a specific day or date.
That's a perfect way to remember it.
Let's make it stick. Quick quiz.
Bring it on. Say the right preposition. I was born blank July 12th.
On, because it's a date.
Nice. Next, I have a meeting blank Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yes. One more. We're going camping blank the weekend.
Tricky. On the weekend, if I'm American.
Nailed it.
Okay, one last test. She got engaged blank Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day.
Boom!
Boom is right. So when you think days and dates, think on.
Got it. On is for days and dates. At is for specific times. What's next?
In, and it covers everything bigger. Buckle up.
All right. Hit me with the final boss. In.
You got it. In is used for longer or less specific periods of time.
Like what kind of periods?
Months, years, centuries, and parts of the day.
Oh, so like in July, in 2020, in the morning?
Exactly. Here's the breakdown. We use in with months. In July, in December. With years, in 1995, in 2022. With centuries, in the 18th century. With long periods, in the past, in the future, and parts of the day. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening.
Wait, didn't we say at night?
Yep, that's one of the weird exceptions. We say at night, but in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening.
I see. So I was born in April, in the morning, in 1990. Is that okay?
That's perfect. A triple in sentence.
I love it. Are there other expressions that use in?
Yes. For example, in a few minutes. In 2 weeks. In the next century. In the past.
So I can say, I'll start exercising in 2 weeks?
Or you could start now.
No promises.
Let's try some quick examples. I was born in 2001. We'll go on vacation in July. They moved here in the 90s. I drink coffee in the morning. He'll arrive in an hour. We used candles in the olden days. We'll meet again in the future.
Ooh, in an hour. That's also about time?
Yes, when we talk about how long until something happens, we often use in.
Okay, so let me try, I'll finish my homework in 10 minutes, and then I'll play games in the evening.
Perfect.
What about in Christmas?
Ah, tricky. We say at Christmas for the general holiday and on Christmas Day for the date. We don't say in Christmas.
Got it. And in the future. That's also a time expression?
Yep, it means a general time later than now.
Cool. What about in Monday?
Nope, that's a day, so we use on Monday.
What if I say in the Monday morning?
Almost. It should be on Monday morning because you mentioned a specific day and part of the day.
Ah, okay. Days equals on, exact times equals at, big time periods equals in.
You're a genius.
I mean, it's about time I got it.
Very punny.
Let me test myself. I was born in the evening in March in 2002.
100% correct.
I'll visit you in a week in the afternoon.
Yes, again.
I plan to travel in the future, maybe in 2030, in summer.
Perfect. Though, say in the summer if you want to be super clear.
Man, in is actually kind of fun.
It is. Want a mini challenge?
Sure.
Make a sentence with 3 ins.
Okay. I studied in the library in the evening in January.
Nice. Full marks.
So now I've got at, on, and in. I'm unstoppable.
You're ready to conquer time. Grammatically, at least.
Okay, Emma, I think I got it, but let's do one final recap, just to make sure I'm not secretly still confused.
Good call. Let's speed run it.
At is for exact times, like at 5 p.m., at noon, at night, at midnight, and even at sunrise.
Correct.
On is for days and dates, on Monday, on Halloween, on July 4th, on the weekend if you're American,
Nailed it.
and in is for months, years, centuries, and longer periods, like in August, in 2021, in the morning, in the future, in 2 hours, in the 1800s.
Grammar trophy unlocked.
Woohoo! So now I can say I was born in July on a Monday at 6 a.m.
Beautiful. A perfect sentence.
And now I'll never say at Sunday again, right?
If you do, I'll personally show up and correct you.
Honestly, that might be helpful.
I take grammar very seriously.
So, what should people do if they're still confused?
Keep practicing. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn. Say things out loud. Write example sentences. Watch this video again.
Like me, I made all the mistakes.
Exactly. And look at you now, a preposition master.
All right, English learners out there, if I can get this, so can you. You don't need to be perfect, just persistent.
That's right. Learning a language takes time. And now you even know how to talk about time.
Mind equal blown.
If this video helped, give it a like and leave us a comment with your best at, on, and in sentence.
Or your funniest mistake. I want to see if anyone beat at July.
That one will go down in grammar history.
Don't forget to subscribe. We've got way more fun English lessons coming up.
And share this video with a friend who always says things like, in Monday. They need this.
You've got this. Just take it one preposition at a time.
And remember, the only bad grammar is the one you never learn from.
See you in the next video on a good day at a perfect time.
Okay, now you're just showing off.
I learned from the best.
Step 1. Listen slowly with subtitles.
Good morning. Please come in.
Good morning. Thank you.
Please have a seat. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. A little nervous, but also excited.
Don't worry. That's normal. Let's start. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. My name is Emma. I studied business administration at university. After graduation, I worked as an office assistant for 2 years. I enjoy learning, meeting people, and solving problems.
That's great. Why did you choose business administration?
Because I like organizing, planning, and helping businesses work better.
Can you tell me about your last job?
Yes, I worked at a small company. My job was to manage emails, prepare reports, and help the manager with meetings. I also worked with the finance team to check invoices.
What did you like most about that job?
I liked working with people and learning new skills. Every day was different.
And what was difficult?
Sometimes the deadlines were short, so I had to work under pressure. But I learned how to stay calm and manage my time.
What are your main skills?
I am good at communication. I can speak clearly with clients and coworkers. I am also very organized. I like to plan my work carefully, and I can use Excel and Word very well.
Do you like working alone or in a team?
I can do both. I like working alone when I need to focus, but I also enjoy teamwork because we can share ideas and support each other.
What are your strengths?
I am responsible, hardworking, and always willing to learn.
And what about weaknesses?
Sometimes I focus too much on small details, but I am learning to balance speed and accuracy.
Why do you want to work in our company?
Your company is well known for quality and innovation. I want to be part of a strong team, and I believe I can contribute with my skills.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself growing in this company, learning new skills, and maybe leading a small team.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, thank you. Can you tell me about the training program for new employees?
Of course. We provide full training in the first month. You will also have a mentor to guide you.
That sounds very helpful. I also want to ask, what is the usual working schedule?
The schedule is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday to Friday. Sometimes there are extra hours, but not often.
Okay, that's good to know.
Thank you, Emma. It was nice talking with you. We will contact you soon.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Have a nice day.
You too. Goodbye. Step 2. Listen slowly again without subtitles.
Good morning. Please come in.
Good morning. Thank you.
Please have a seat. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. A little nervous, but also excited.
Don't worry. That's normal. Let's start. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. My name is Emma. I studied business administration at university. After graduation, I worked as an office assistant for 2 years. I enjoy learning, meeting people, and solving problems.
That's great. Why did you choose business administration?
Because I like organizing, planning, and helping businesses work better.
Can you tell me about your last job?
Yes, I worked at a small company. My job was to manage emails, prepare reports, and help the manager with meetings. I also worked with the finance team to check invoices.
What did you like most about that job?
I liked working with people and learning new skills. Every day was different.
And what was difficult?
Sometimes the deadlines were short, so I had to work under pressure. But I learned how to stay calm and manage my time.
What are your main skills?
I am good at communication. I can speak clearly with clients and coworkers. I am also very organized. I like to plan my work carefully, and I can use Excel and Word very well.
Do you like working alone or in a team?
I can do both. I like working alone when I need to focus, but I also enjoy teamwork because we can share ideas and support each other.
What are your strengths?
I am responsible, hardworking, and always willing to learn.
And what about weaknesses?
Sometimes I focus too much on small details, but I am learning to balance speed and accuracy.
Why do you want to work in our company?
Your company is well known for quality and innovation. I want to be part of a strong team, and I believe I can contribute with my skills.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself growing in this company, learning new skills, and maybe leading a small team.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, thank you. Can you tell me about the training program for new employees?
Of course. We provide full training in the first month. You will also have a mentor to guide you.
That sounds very helpful. I also want to ask, what is the usual working schedule?
The schedule is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday to Friday. Sometimes there are extra hours, but not often.
Okay, that's good to know.
Thank you, Emma. It was nice talking with you. We will contact you soon.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Have a nice day.
You too. Goodbye. Step 3. Listen fast and natural without subtitles.
Good morning. Please come in.
Good morning, thank you.
Please have a seat. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. A little nervous, but also excited.
Don't worry. That's normal. Let's start. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. My name is Emma. I studied business administration at university. After graduation, I worked as an office assistant for 2 years. I enjoy learning, meeting people, and solving problems.
That's great. Why did you choose business administration?
Because I like organizing, planning, and helping businesses work better.
Can you tell me about your last job?
Yes, I worked at a small company. My job was to manage emails, prepare reports, and help the manager with meetings. I also worked with the finance team to check invoices.
What did you like most about that job?
I liked working with people and learning new skills. Every day was different.
And what was difficult?
Sometimes the deadlines were short, so I had to work under pressure. But I learned how to stay calm and manage my time.
What are your main skills?
I'm good at communication. I can speak clearly with clients and coworkers. I am also very organized. I like to plan my work carefully. And I can use Excel and Word very well.
Do you like working alone or in a team?
I can do both. I like working alone when I need to focus, but I also enjoy teamwork because we can share ideas and support each other.
What are your strengths?
I am responsible, hardworking, and always willing to learn.
And what about weaknesses?
Sometimes I focus too much on small details, but I am learning to balance speed and accuracy.
Why do you want to work in our company?
Your company is well known for quality and innovation. I want to be part of a strong team, and I believe I can contribute with my skills.
Interesting. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself growing in this company, learning new skills, and maybe leading a small team.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, thank you. Can you tell me about the training program for new employees?
Of course. We provide full training in the first month. You will also have a mentor to guide you.
That sounds very helpful. I also want to ask, what is the usual working schedule?
The schedule is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday to Friday. Sometimes there are extra hours, but not often.
Okay, that's good to know.
Thank you, Emma. It was nice talking with you. We will contact you soon.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Have a nice day.
You too. Goodbye. Now, let's test your understanding by answering these 10 listening questions. What does the interviewer say to Emma when she first enters the office? How does Emma describe her feelings at the beginning of the interview? What did Emma study at university? What job did Emma do before applying for this position? What tasks did Emma mention from her last job? What problem did Emma face in her previous job, and how did she handle it? What are Emma's main skills? What weakness does Emma mention in the interview? Why does Emma want to work in this company? What question does Emma ask the interviewer at the end? Now, let's take a closer look at some useful phrases from our conversation. Listen carefully, repeat after me, and try to remember them. Please, have a seat. Used when inviting someone to sit down politely. How are you today? A friendly way to start a conversation and make the other person feel comfortable. Can you introduce yourself? A common interview question asking for a short, personal, and professional introduction. Tell me about your last job. A request to describe past work experience and responsibilities. What did you like most about that job? A way to learn what motivates a person and what kind of work they enjoy. What are your strengths? A question asking about positive qualities, skills, or abilities. What are your weaknesses? A question asking about areas you need to improve or challenges you face. Why do you want to work in our company? A question about motivation and interest in the company. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? A way to ask about future goals and career plans. Do you have any questions for me? An invitation for the candidate to ask about the job, company, or next steps. Well done, my friends. You listened to a job interview conversation in 3 different ways, answered questions, and practiced useful phrases. Job interviews can feel stressful, but remember, with practice, you will sound more confident. The key is to speak clearly, be polite, and show your best self. Keep practicing these phrases. Imagine yourself in the interview chair, and one day, you'll walk into that room with confidence and a big smile. You're doing great, so don't stop now. See you in the next lesson. Bye for now.
Every day I wakes up at 7 and eats the coffee. Then I go work.
Wait, Jack. You say wakes up and eats the coffee? That sounds funny.
Why? I do this every day.
You should say wake up. No S with I. And we drink coffee, not eat it.
Oh, so I say, I wake up, I drink coffee, right?
Yes, and I go to work, not go work.
Okay, I wake up, I drink coffee, I go to work. Got it.
Nice. This is the present simple tense. We use it to talk about things we do every day, like habits and routines.
So coffee is not food.
Only if you're very, very sleepy. Let's learn how to use present simple to talk about your daily habits. Let's go.
So, Emma, you said present simple is for habits, right?
Yes, Jack. We use the present simple tense to talk about things we do often, like every day, every week, or usually.
Okay, So I can say, I eat lunch at 12 every day?
Exactly! That's perfect!
What if I say, I eats lunch? Is that okay?
Ah, small mistake. With I, you, we, and they, we don't use S. So I eat, you eat, we eat, they eat.
Got it. No S for me. What about he or she?
Great question. With he, she, and it, we add S to the verb. For example, he eats lunch at 12, or she drinks tea in the morning.
Oh. So I eat, but he eats.
Yes, let's try more. What do you do in the morning?
Hmm. I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth. I watches TV?
Almost right. You should say, I watch TV. No ES with I.
Right. I watch TV. Okay, let me try again. I wake up, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast, I watch TV, then I go to work.
That's great, Jack. You're doing better. What time do you go to work?
I go to work at 9. And you?
I start work at 8:30. I take the bus every day.
Oh, take the bus. That means you go by bus.
Yes, take the bus is a phrase we use. It means use the bus to travel.
Nice. I drive to work. Can I say, I drives to work?
Not if you want to pass English class. It's I drive to work. Remember, no S with I.
Okay. What do you do after work?
I go home, I cook dinner, and I relax.
You don't say, I cooks dinner?
Nope, just I cook.
This as is so tricky.
Don't worry, here's a tip. If you use he, she, or it, add S. If not, don't.
Tip noted. What about on weekends?
On Saturdays, I clean the house and visit my family.
I plays football on Sunday.
Try again.
I play football on Sunday.
Good job. Now you're scoring goals with grammar.
I try. What time do you wake up on weekends?
I usually wake up at 9. What about you?
I sometimes sleep until 10.
Nice. You just used usually and sometimes. Those are great for present simple.
Oh yeah. Are there more words like that?
Yes, words like always, never, often, every day, on Mondays. They show routine.
Okay, I always drink coffee in the morning.
I never drink coffee at night.
We're grammar masters now.
Almost. Let's review the rules one more time before we move on.
Okay, let's review. I say I work, I sleep, I eat. But he works, he sleeps, he eats.
Yes, and don't forget some verbs need es,
ES? Like what?
like go. We say he goes, not he goes.
Oh, she goes to school, right?
Exactly. Also, do becomes does, and watch becomes watches.
So he does his homework and she watches TV.
Perfect. Some verbs change spelling, but don't worry, there aren't too many.
It's like a game. Learn the rules, get the points.
Yes. Want to play a quick quiz?
I'm ready.
Fill in the blank. She blank tea every morning.
Drinks. She drinks tea every morning.
Correct. Next. They blank to school by bus.
They go to school by bus.
Great. Now, he blank his bike on Saturdays.
Rides?
Yes, he rides his bike.
This is fun. Give me more.
Okay. I blank dinner at 6.
Eat. I eat dinner at 6.
Good. My dad blank to work at 8.
Goes. My dad goes to work at 8.
Excellent. You're a present simple pro now.
Thanks. So, present simple is for things we do again and again, like habits.
Yes, we use it for daily routines, hobbies, and facts.
Like the sun rises in the east.
Perfect example. Or water boils at 100 degrees.
My routine. I wake up, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast, I go to work, I come home, I eat dinner, I sleep.
Very nice. Try saying it in full sentences.
Okay. I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast at 7:30. I go to work at 8. I come home at 6. I eat dinner at 6:30. I sleep at 10.
Wow, great job. That's a full day in present simple.
And now I know how to use it without eating coffee.
That was a strong start to the lesson. Now it's your turn. In the comments, write 3 sentences about your daily routine using the present simple tense. For example, I wake up at 7. I eat breakfast. I go to work.
Don't forget, no S with I, unless your name is he.
And if this video helped you, please click like and subscribe button for more fun English lessons.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Emma, I don't understand. I've been learning English for 5 years.
5 years? That's a long time. So, how do you feel now?
Honestly, terrible. I still can't speak fluently. I get nervous, I forget words, sometimes nothing comes out.
Wait, hold on. You've been studying for 5 years and you still feel stuck?
Exactly. I know so much grammar. I've memorized thousands of words. I even watch English videos. But when I try to talk to someone, silence.
That's interesting.
Interesting? Emma, it's a disaster. I feel like I've wasted years of my life.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Jack. You didn't waste time, but maybe the way you're learning is the real problem.
The way I'm learning? What do you mean? Isn't learning just studying?
Not exactly. That's what many people think, and that's why they fail.
Fail? Are you saying I'm failing?
Not just you, millions of learners around the world. They all make the same mistakes.
Okay, now you've got me curious. What mistakes? Tell me, Emma. Why do people fail at learning English?
Jack, the first mistake is this. You study English, but you don't use English.
What? Of course I use it. I do grammar exercises, I write sentences, I memorize vocabulary.
See, that's the problem. You're treating English like math or history. You sit with a book, you fill in blanks, you memorize rules, but you don't actually live the language.
Live the language? What does that even mean? I'm not moving to London tomorrow.
You don't have to. Living the language means practicing in real life every day, talking, listening, thinking in English, not just memorizing.
But memorizing is learning, isn't it?
Let me ask you this. If you buy a treadmill and never walk on it, will you get fit?
Of course not. That's silly.
Exactly. Memorizing thousands of words without speaking is like buying a treadmill and never using it. The treadmill looks nice in your house, but you're still unfit.
Oh, so you're saying I'm word rich, but speaking poor?
Perfectly said. You have the words, but you never train your mouth to use them. That's mistake number 1.
Okay, fine. Maybe I don't use English enough. But, Emma, grammar is important, right? That's why I study it every day.
Grammar is important, yes, but here's mistake number 2. People focus too much on grammar.
Too much? How can you study grammar too much?
Think about football.
Football? What does that have to do with English?
Imagine this. You read all the football rules. You memorize every detail. Offside, penalty, red card, yellow card. You even take a test on the rules.
Sounds like me with English grammar.
Exactly. But then someone gives you a ball and says, "Okay, Jack, go play." What happens?
I freeze. I wouldn't know what to do.
That's the point. Knowing the rules doesn't mean you can play. Just like knowing grammar doesn't mean you can speak.
So, I'm like a football referee, not a football player.
Yes, you're great at pointing out mistakes, but you never score a goal.
Ouch. That hurts. But I get it. Too much grammar study makes me afraid to speak.
Exactly. You're so busy worrying about rules that you forget to enjoy the game.
All right, Emma. I see your point about grammar, but I do study hard. I write and I read. I mean, that should be enough, right?
Not quite, Jack. Here's mistake number 3. Most learners don't listen enough.
Listen? You mean like music and movies?
Exactly. Listening is fuel for speaking. Without listening, your speaking engine has no power.
But I already know words. Why do I need to listen so much?
Because listening shows you how those words really sound in real life. You can't speak naturally if you don't hear natural English.
So it's not enough to just read words from a book?
Right. Think about cooking.
Oh no! Another Emma example.
Yes. Imagine you read a cookbook. You memorize every recipe, but you never taste the food. Do you really know how it should taste?
No! I'd only know the theory, not the real flavor.
Exactly. Reading English is like reading the cookbook. Listening is tasting the food.
So if I don't listen enough, I won't know how real English tastes.
Perfect. And that's why so many learners fail. They read and memorize, but they don't train their ears.
Okay, let me check if I got this right. Mistake 1. I study but don't use English. Mistake 2. I focus too much on grammar, like a referee instead of a player. Mistake 3. I don't listen enough, so my English has no flavor.
Exactly, Jack. That's the full picture.
Wow! No wonder I've been failing. I thought the problem was English, but the real problem was me.
Don't say failing. You didn't fail. You just took the wrong road.
So what's the right road then?
Simple. Start using English every day. Speak, even if you make mistakes. Listen more than you read. And remember, grammar is a tool, not the whole game.
So practice, listen, and play, not just study.
Yes, English is not a subject you pass. It's a skill you build.
You know what, Emma? From today, I'm done studying English. I'm going to start living it.
That's the spirit. And remember, every mistake is not a failure. It's a step forward.
All right, then I'm ready to take a lot of steps.
Good. Just don't forget to enjoy the journey.
You know, Emma, this conversation really opened my eyes. I thought I was failing, but now I see I just need to change how I learn.
Exactly, Jack. And you're not alone. So many learners make these same mistakes.
Well, if I can fix them, anyone can.
What about you? Do you make any of these mistakes? Tell us in the comments. I'd love to hear your story.
And if you learned something new today, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up.
And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next lesson.
Yeah, we've got plenty more examples coming, probably with food, football, and treadmills.
You know me too well. See you next time, friends. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to English Phrases Hub. Today, we'll talk about a big step in learning English. How to stop sounding like a textbook and start sounding more natural. Have you ever felt this? You know grammar. You know many words. But when you speak, it sounds a little slow. Don't worry. You're not alone. There's a simple reason for this. And here's the secret. It's not about learning more words. It's about learning the right words. Today, we'll learn a special kind of word. Words that native English speakers use all the time. These words are called phrasal verbs. And guess what? We'll learn 30 important phrasal verbs that can really change how you sound when you speak English. Don't worry, I'll explain each one clearly. You'll hear short dialogues, and we'll review them together. Are you ready? Let's get started. First, let's break down exactly what a phrasal verb is and see why it can totally change the way you sound when you speak English. Okay? So the idea is actually super simple. You take a normal verb you already know, like look or get, and you add a little word to it, like up, out, or after. But here's where the magic comes in. When you put them together, they create a whole new meaning. Let's look at a perfect example. The verb look, right? By itself, it just means to use your eyes to see something. But when you add the word after, it becomes look after. And now it means to take care of someone. A completely different meaning, right? Now, there's one important thing you should know about phrasal verbs if you want to sound natural. It's called separability. Some phrasal verbs are separable. That means you can put the little word like up or off after the verb or after the noun. For example, turn off. Imagine you want to stop the TV. You can say, turn off the TV, or turn the TV off. Both are correct. In this case, the little word off can move. That's why we call it separable. But here's the important part. Some phrasal verbs are inseparable. That means the verb and the particle must stay together. For example, I look after my dog. You cannot say, I look my dog after. That sounds very strange and completely wrong to a native speaker. So remember, some phrasal verbs are separable and some are inseparable. Knowing the difference will make your English sound more natural and much clearer. Phrasal verbs are everywhere in English, in movies, conversations, even in texts. If you want to speak like a native speaker, you need to use them. So now, let's see how they work in real life. We've got these 30 verbs, and we've put them into 6 groups, like communication, plans, or feelings. This makes you easier to remember and use them in your conversations right away. All right, let's jump into section 1. We're starting with verbs that are really important for just talking to people. Number 1, to add up. We usually use this in negative situations, like when someone gives you a strange excuse or when their story doesn't make sense. If you feel something is not true, you'd say it doesn't add up. For example, her story didn't add up. I think she's lying. Or imagine your coworker gives you a long, confusing reason for missing a deadline. You listen carefully, but in your head, you're thinking, that doesn't really add up. See? It's short, natural, and much easier than saying, I don't believe you. It's a very useful verb. Number 2, to back somebody up. This means to support someone. It can be about agreeing with what they say in a conversation, helping them in a difficult situation, or even defending them in an argument. It's like saying, "I've got your back." It gives the feeling that someone is standing with you. Back up sounds much stronger than just saying, "I will support you." It feels more active, more confident. Now, this verb can be split when the object is a noun. For example, "I'll back up your idea," or "I'll back your idea up." Both are correct. But honestly, the most natural way is when you use it with a person. "I'll back you up," or "I'll back him up." That's how people usually say it. Number 3, bring it on. This one is full of energy. Bring it on means you're ready, you're excited, and you're not afraid of the challenge in front of you. You're basically saying, "Okay, I accept your challenge. Let's do this. I'm not scared. Give me your best shot." But here's the important part for learners. The tone is everything. If you say it with a smile, maybe when playing a game with friends, it's fun and playful. For example, someone says, "You think you'll win this time?" You answer, "Bring it on." But if you say it in a low, serious voice, maybe staring at someone, it can sound aggressive, like you're actually looking for a fight. Number 4, to find out. This phrasal verb is all about discovery, learning new information that you didn't know before. It means to discover something, often for the first time. And sometimes there's a little bit of mystery or searching involved. For example, you'd say, "I found out the truth." Or, "She found out the news yesterday." This sounds much more natural than saying something like, "I ascertained the information." People just don't talk that way in daily life. So, you might ask a friend, "How did you find out about the party?" Or, when you're reading a mystery novel, you want to know what the detective finds out in the end. So, remember, find out is the everyday way to say you discovered something. And that's the end of our first group, communication phrasal verbs. You've learned add up. When something makes sense or doesn't make sense. Back somebody up. To support or defend someone. Bring it on. To accept a challenge with confidence. Find out. To discover new information. Now let's hear them in action within this short dialogue.
Emma, I just heard Mark's excuse for being late. He said he missed the bus. Then he said his car broke down. Honestly, it doesn't add up.
Yeah, his story sounds strange. Don't worry, I'll back you up if someone asks. we both know he wasn't being honest.
Thanks. I need that support. By the way, you know I'm nervous about the quiz tomorrow.
Nervous? Come on, bring it on. You've been studying hard.
True, but I still need to find out what chapters are included. Do you know?
Not yet, but let's ask the teacher after class. We'll find out together.
Perfect. Thanks, Emma. You always make English feel easier.
Now, let's move on to section 2. And this one is super practical for everyday life. Managing plans. This is the stuff we all deal with all the time. Making plans, changing them, organizing things, and trust me, knowing these verbs really helps when you're planning and arranging things in English. Number 5. To call off. This one is for when plans go wrong. To call off means to cancel something that was already planned. A meeting, an event, a trip, whatever it might be. Now, call off and cancel are very close in meaning, but sometimes call off feels a little more sudden or connected to an outside reason, like bad weather. Still, in conversation, people often use them in the same way. For example, they called off the wedding. That's a huge cancellation. Or, the football match was called off because of the heavy rain. Here's something important. Call off is separable. You can say, they called off the meeting, or they called the meeting off. Both are correct. And when the object is short, like meeting, people often separate it. So call off is a really natural way to talk about canceled plans. Number 6. To check in. To check in means to register your arrival somewhere. You're basically letting people know you've arrived, often by giving your name or details. It's that official first step when you arrive. For example, you might ask your friend, "What time do we need to check in at the hotel?" Or, "You need to check in for your flight at least 2 hours early." One more thing, check in is inseparable. You say check in at the hotel, not check the hotel in. The action is always check in and then the place. Number 7. To turn down. To turn down means to refuse or reject something. It could be an offer, an invitation, or maybe a request for help. It's actually a polite way to say no. It's direct, but it doesn't usually sound rude. It's just the standard way to decline something. For example, you get offered a job, but the commute is too long. You say, "I turned it down." You thought about it, but you said no. Now, here's the grammar part. Turn down is separable. You can say, "I turned down the offer," or "I turned the offer down." Both are fine. But If the object is a pronoun, like it, him, her, or them, it must go in the middle. So you'd say, I turned it down, not I turned down it. That just sounds wrong. So remember, this is the pronoun rule for separable verbs. Always put the pronoun in the middle. To put off. You know that thing you're supposed to do, but you keep telling yourself, I'll do it later. Well, that's it. So, put off means to decide or arrange to delay an event or activity until a later time or date. You're putting it off. I think we can all relate to this one, right? A textbook might teach you to say, I will postpone cleaning my room. But honestly, nobody really talks like that. A native speaker would just say, I always put off cleaning. It's just so much more casual and real. That's the end of Section 2, all about managing plans. You've learned call off, to cancel something that was planned, check in, to register your arrival at a place, turn down, to politely refuse or reject something, put off, to delay or postpone something until later. Now, let's listen to a short dialogue in action.
Bad news, Emma. They had to call off the music festival because of the rain.
Oh no, that's disappointing. Well, at least we can still check in early at the hotel and explore the town.
True. By the way, Sarah asked if we want to join her hiking group tomorrow.
I think I'll turn that down. I really just want a relaxing weekend.
Same here. And speaking of relaxing, let's not put off packing until the last minute like we always do.
Agreed. Let's get it done tonight so we can enjoy tomorrow stress-free. Now, let's move into Section 3. And this one gets a little more personal. Here, we'll look at phrasal verbs about feelings, relationships, and what happens when things don't go so smoothly. When you master these verbs, your English will sound much more natural, more emotionally intelligent, and easier for people to relate to. Number 9, to calm down. This one is super useful because we all need it sometimes. To calm down means to relax. It's about becoming less angry, less upset, or even less excited if you're too hyper. You might say to a stressed friend, take a breath, you need to calm down. Or you can even use it for yourself. For example, before giving a big presentation, you might think, okay, I just need to calm down a little first. Now, here's the grammar point. Calm down is separable. You can say, try to calm the baby down, or he needed help to calm down. Both are fine. But when you're speaking directly to someone, like saying, calm down, then it's inseparable. To grow up. To grow up mainly means the process of changing from being a child into an adult, getting older, becoming more responsible. You use it to talk about where you lived when you were a child. It covers everything from playing with toys to becoming a full-fledged adult. That's why instead of saying, I spent my childhood years in a small town, you just say, I grew up in a small town. I grew up in London. Or she grew up on a farm. It tells the story of your early life. It sounds so much more natural. It's always inseparable when used this way, but you can also use it in another way, like if someone is acting like a child. You might tell someone who's being really childish, grow up. It means start acting like an adult. Got it? Hang out. Hang out means to spend time with someone in a relaxed way. This is maybe one of the most common, informal ways to talk about just spending time with friends. See, it's not about a specific plan. It's just about the vibe. Relaxed, no pressure, just enjoying each other's company. So, you wouldn't say, I will spend free time with my friends. It's too formal. You just say, hey, let's hang out this weekend. It's simple, friendly, and very common. Number 12. To get along. This phrasal verb is all about relationships. To get along means having a friendly relationship with someone. You cooperate well, you don't fight much, and you basically like each other. It's the natural way to say that people have a good connection. For example, my brother and I didn't always get along when we were kids, but we're fine now. Or, everyone in my team really gets along. It makes work so much nicer. Here's the rule. You get along with someone. You don't get someone along or anything like that. It always stays as get along. So, if you want to talk about positive relationships in English, this is the phrase to use. Number 13. To break down. This phrasal verb has two very common meanings, and they're quite different, but both are about something failing completely. Meaning 1. Machines or vehicles. When something mechanical stops working, it breaks down. For example, my car broke down on the motorway. Or, the washing machine broke down again. Here, it means the machine stopped working and needs repair. And in this meaning, the verb is inseparable. Meaning 2. Emotions. When a person loses control of their feelings, usually because of stress, sadness, or shock, we also say they break down. For example, she heard the bad news and just broke down. Or, he tried to stay strong, but eventually he broke down and cried. Number 14. To run away. To run away means to leave a place quickly, usually because you're scared, in danger, or just really don't want to stay there. The classic example is a child running away from home. That's a common use, but it can also be much simpler. For instance, imagine a little kid sees a big, scary dog barking at them. They turn and run away. So the idea is always about escaping or fleeing from a situation. Important detail: it's inseparable. You always say, run away from something. For example, he ran away from the fire. You don't say, run the fire away. So remember, run away equals leave quickly, usually out of fear or avoidance. And that's the end of our third group, feelings and relationship phrasal verbs. You've learned calm down, to relax and become less angry, upset, or excited. Grow up, to change from being a child into an adult, or to act more mature. Hang out, to spend time with someone in a relaxed, informal way. Get along, to have a friendly relationship with someone. Break down, to collapse emotionally, or for a machine to stop working. Run away, to leave quickly, often out of fear or to escape. Now, let's hear them in action within this short dialogue.
Ugh, I was so stressed this morning. I just couldn't calm down before my presentation.
That happens. You'll get better with practice. Honestly, Jack, sometimes you need to grow up and not let nerves control you.
Okay, fair point. Anyway, do you want to hang out this weekend? Maybe grab some pizza?
Sounds great. You know, I really like how everyone in our group gets along. No drama, just fun.
Totally. Last week, though, Sarah broke down when she lost her job. That was tough to watch.
Yeah, but we were there for her. That's what friends do. At least she didn't run away from the problem. She's facing it.
True. And we'll all back her up, right?
Always. That's how we grow stronger together. That brings us to section 4. This group of phrasal verbs is super useful if you're focused on achieving goals, whether that's learning English, working hard at your job, managing money, or even talking about what happens when businesses stop. Let's kick off with number 15, to keep on. To keep on means to continue doing something. The key idea is persistence. You don't stop, you just keep going, even if it's difficult or repetitive. For example, keep on trying, keep on working. Think of a little boy learning the guitar. His fingers hurt. Maybe he couldn't play it right at first, but he kept on practicing every day. Or imagine you're studying these phrasal verbs. If it feels hard sometimes, I'd say to you, keep on studying them. Keep on listening. Keep on practicing. This one is inseparable. You always say, keep on doing something. So whenever you want to encourage persistence, this is the phrase to use. Number 16, to stick with. This one is close to keep on, but with a slightly different flavor. To stick with means to continue doing something difficult, but the focus here is on loyalty and commitment, not just the action itself. So think of it this way. Keep on is about the action. Stick with is about the dedication to the bigger goal. For example, you keep on practicing your piano scales, that's the repeated action, but you stick with your goal of learning to play the piano. That's the commitment. You might advise someone, stick with your studies, don't give up, and you'll definitely improve. So whenever you want to encourage dedication or long-term effort, this is the phrase to use. Number 17, to give up. This phrasal verb means to stop trying, to quit, to abandon your effort or goal. It's the moment when persistence ends. For example, think of someone training for a marathon. The first few weeks are incredibly tough. He feels like quitting, but he doesn't give up. He keeps going. That's why this verb is so powerful in motivation. You'll often hear the message, don't give up. And of course, don't give up on learning English. Now, grammar note. Give up is separable. You can say, I decided to give up smoking, or I decided to give smoking up. Both are correct. So remember, give up is about stopping, but most of the time, the advice is the opposite. Don't give up. Number 18, to chip in. To chip in means to contribute a small amount, usually money, but it can also mean effort towards a bigger group goal. It's when everyone puts in a little bit. For example, we're getting Sarah a birthday gift. Do you want to chip in maybe $5? Everyone gives a small amount to make it happen. But it's not just money. It can also be effort. Imagine a team is behind on a project. The manager might say, okay, everyone, let's all chip in an extra hour tonight to get this finished. So, chip in is about sharing money, sharing time, or sharing work. And here's the grammar note. It's inseparable. You usually chip in for something or chip in on something. Number 19. To close down. To close down means to shut a business or an operation completely and permanently. This usually happens when the business isn't making enough money or doesn't have enough customers. So it's not just closing for the day, it's closing for good. For example, imagine a small bookstore. Maybe online shopping hurt their sales. Fewer customers came in, and eventually the owners had to make the sad decision to close down the shop. We only use close down for businesses, shops, factories, or restaurants. You wouldn't say close down your laptop. For that, you just say shut down or close. And grammar note. Close down is separable. All right, that's it for our fourth group, phrasal verbs about goals and persistence. Here's a quick review of them. Keep on, to continue doing something even when it's hard. Stick with, to stay committed to a plan or goal. Give up, to quit or stop trying. Chip in, to contribute money, effort, or time to a group goal. Close down, to shut a business or operation permanently. Now, let's hear a quick dialogue and see these phrasal verbs in action.
Emma, this math problem is impossible. I think I'm going to give up.
Don't give up, Jack. Just stick with it a little longer. You're closer than you think.
Maybe, but it's so boring. How do you keep on working when your brain feels tired?
I usually take a short break, then I keep on going. Small steps make a big difference.
Okay, but I might need some help. Can you chip in with an idea or two?
Sure. Let's look at the formula together. I'll chip in with some hints, and you try to solve it.
Hey, it works. I got the answer.
See? I told you not to give up.
Thanks, Emma. You know, if this coffee shop ever closes down, I'll miss these study sessions.
Me too. But until then, let's stick with our routine. Coffee, books, and teamwork. That brings us to section 5. This group is all about how we physically move around, how we find things, and, very importantly, how we stay safe. These are verbs you'll hear when talking about being out and about in the world. Let's start with number 20, to get around. To get around means how you usually travel or move from one place to another, especially within a town or city. It's about your normal way of getting from point A to point B. For example, in my city, it's easiest to get around by subway. Or, I usually get around by bike when the weather's nice. Sometimes people also complain, It's really hard to get around here without a car. That means the public transport isn't great, or maybe it's not very easy to walk from place to place. So, get around is an inseparable phrase. You always say, get around by bus, get around by train, get around by car. It's a super practical verb, especially if you're talking about travel in your daily life. Number 21. To look for. To look for means to actively try to find something. You have a specific thing in mind and you're searching for it. For example, I'm looking for my wallet. Have you seen it anywhere? Or, she went to the library to look for a specific book. So this isn't random searching, it's intentional. You know what you want, and you're trying to find it. And remember, look for is inseparable. You always say, look for something. Simple, clear, and very common. Number 22. To come across. To come across means to find something completely by chance, unexpectedly. You weren't looking for it at all. It's an accidental discovery. For example, you might be searching for your keys, but while doing that, you come across an old letter you'd forgotten about. So here's the key difference. Look for is searching on purpose. Come across is finding by accident. Another example, Sam was just tidying his room and he came across an old childhood photograph tucked away in a drawer. He wasn't searching for photos, it just happened. And grammar note, come across is inseparable. You always say, come across something. This is a really useful distinction for everyday English. To watch out. To watch out means be careful, pay attention, because there might be danger nearby. It's almost always used as a quick, urgent warning. For example, if you see a car coming toward your friend who isn't looking, you'd shout, "Watch out!" Or, "Watch out! The floor is wet." It's an immediate call to awareness, something you say fast to stop something bad from happening. And grammar note, it's inseparable. You don't split it. You just say, "Watch out for that bike." Short, sharp, and very common. Number 24. To pull over. To pull over means to move your car, bike, or other vehicle to the side of the road and stop safely. You might do this for different reasons. Maybe you need to check directions, make a phone call, or because you suddenly feel unwell. A very common situation is when a police officer signals you to stop. For example, the police car flashed its lights, so I had to pull over. Another example, I needed to pull over and check the map. So remember, pull over is mostly inseparable. You just say, pull over to the side of the road. This one is especially useful if you're driving in English-speaking countries. Number 25. To turn off. To turn off means to stop a machine or device from working, usually by pressing a switch or button. You use it for things like lights, the TV, a computer, or an engine. It's the opposite of turn on. And here's the grammar point. This is a classic separable phrasal verb. You can say, please turn off the lights, or please turn the lights off. Both are correct. But if the object is a pronoun, like them, it must go in the middle. Please turn them off. So, turn off is a super common, everyday phrase you'll use all the time. All right, that's the end of our 5th group, movement and safety phrasal verbs. Let's quickly review what you've learned. Get around, to move or travel from place to place. Look for, to actively search for something. Come across, to find something by chance. Watch out, to be careful, often as a quick warning. Pull over, to move a vehicle to the side of the road and stop safely. Turn off, to stop a machine or device from working. Now, let's hear them in action in a short dialogue.
Emma, this traffic is crazy. How do people get around the city so fast?
Most people use the metro or scooters. It's an easy way to get around without the traffic jams.
Makes sense. By the way, I'm looking for a gas station. The fuel light is on.
Don't worry, we'll find one soon. Just keep your eyes open. You might come across one on this road.
Wait! Watch out! That car is changing lanes without a signal.
Good catch. Let's stay safe. Maybe we should pull over for a minute and check the map.
Yeah, good idea. I'll pull over at the next safe spot.
And when you stop, don't forget to turn off the engine. We don't want to waste fuel.
Got it. Hopefully, we'll come across that gas station soon. Until then, I'll just keep looking for the signs.
Exactly. We'll get there. Just drive carefully and watch out for the traffic. And now we've reached our last group, Section 6. This one is all about surprises and sudden changes. These are the verbs you'll hear when something unexpected happens. We'll also look at how people deal with problems and sometimes how they get even. So this section is all about handling the unexpected. Number 26. to turn up. This phrasal verb has two very common meanings, and they're completely different. Meaning 1, arrival. To turn up means to arrive or appear somewhere, often when people weren't sure if you would. It's not just about arriving. It often has that feeling of surprise. For example, we invited him, but we weren't sure he'd come. Then, halfway through the party, he just turned up. Or, I waited for ages, but she never turned up. In this sense, turn up is inseparable. You simply say, turn up somewhere. Meaning 2. To turn up, for example, can you turn up the radio? I can't hear it. Or, it's cold in here. Could you turn up the heating? This meaning is separable. You can say, turn up the music, or turn the music up. And if it's a pronoun, it must go in the middle. Turn it up. So, turn up can either mean arriving, sometimes unexpectedly, or increasing something like sound or heat. To come up. This one is what I like to call the classic excuse. To come up means that something unexpected has happened, usually something that forces you to change your plans. It's the perfect polite way to cancel without going into all the details. For example, you have very useful in everyday English. Very useful in everyday English. Number 28. To get back. This one's an essential phrasal verb with two common meanings. Meaning 1, physical return. To get back means to return to a place you were before. For example, I'm going out for lunch. I'll get back to the office around 2 p.m. Or, what time did you get back from your holiday? Here, it's inseparable. You just say get back to a place. Meaning 2, communication. To get back to someone means to contact them again later, usually with information or an answer you didn't have right away. For example, in a work context, someone asks you a question, but you don't know the answer. You could say, let me check that for you, and I'll get back to you this afternoon. This sounds polite, professional, and it's very common in business English. And notice, it's inseparable from the person. You get back to someone. So remember, get back is either about returning physically or about returning to a conversation later. Number 29. To work out. This phrasal verb also has two very common meanings. Meaning 1, exercise. To work out means to do physical exercise, like going to the gym running or lifting weights. For example, I tried to work out 3 times a week. It simply means to train your body. And it's inseparable when used this way. You just work out. Meaning 2. Finding a solution. To work out can also mean to solve a problem or find a solution, often through effort or discussion. For example, if a couple is having problems, they might try to work things out. Or, we need to work out a budget for this project. Here it means to figure it out, to make a plan. And this meaning is separable. You can say, they need to work out their problems, or they need to work their problems out. Very often, you'll also hear, don't worry, we'll work it out. So, work out can mean training your body or solving your problems. 2 very useful meanings. Number 30, to get back at. To get back at someone means to do something unpleasant to them because they did something unpleasant to you first. In other words, it's revenge. Now, this can be playful or serious, depending on the context. For example, friends might play pranks on each other. If Max played a prank on Jake, Jake might get back at him by pulling an even bigger prank. But, of course, it can also be more serious, doing something in return for a real wrong. Grammar note: this one is inseparable. You always say, get back at someone. And notice how just adding that little word at completely changes the meaning of get back. Without it, get back can mean return or respond politely. With at, it suddenly means revenge. That's the power and sometimes the challenge of phrasal verbs. And that wraps up our 6th and final group, surprises and reactions phrasal verbs. You've learned turn up, to arrive or appear, often unexpectedly, or to increase volume or intensity. Come up, when something unexpected happens that changes your plans. Get back, to return to a place or to contact someone again later. Work out, to exercise or to solve a problem or find a solution. Get back at, to take revenge or do something unpleasant in return. Now, let's listen to a short dialogue in action.
Guess what, Emma? Yesterday, I lost my keys, but then they turned up in my backpack. I felt so silly.
That happens to me too. Sometimes things just turn up when you stop looking for them.
Yeah. And something else came up at work. My boss asked me to cover for a colleague at the last minute.
Oh no, that must have been stressful.
It was. I just wanted to get back home and relax, but I had to stay late.
Well, at least you got through it. Did the project work out in the end?
Yes, actually, it did work out. Everyone was happy with the results.
That's great. But your boss owes you one. Maybe you should get back at him by asking for an extra day off.
Yeah, that would be a nice way to get back at him, but in a good way.
Exactly. Not revenge, just balance. So that's it. 30 phrasal verbs we've covered. From stories that don't add up, to not giving up, to plans that get called off, and even how to get back at someone. Hopefully, everyone listening now has a much stronger toolkit for making conversations sound more natural and more confident. That's really the goal, because these aren't just random words. Native speakers use them constantly, almost without thinking. And just swapping a formal word like postpone for put off can them like turn the light off, and when you can't, like look after the cat, that's crucial for getting them right and sounding natural. We've tried to keep this deep dive practical, simple explanations, clear examples, and little stories you can connect to. Hopefully, it felt easy to follow, especially if you're a beginner or intermediate learner. Now, here's the big question. Which phrasal verbs are you going to stick with starting today? Go on, give it a try. Write them in the comments and bring them into your speech. That's how you turn learning into real language. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share it with a friend who's also learning English. Let's keep learning together. Bye-bye, and see you next time.